You are driving down the highway, and you notice the battery percentage on your dashboard ticking down faster than you expected. It creates a very specific, sinking feeling in your stomach. We call this range anxiety. It is an emotional response where drivers start constantly recalculating the miles remaining, focusing on the gap between their destination and the car's theoretical maximum range. That stress leads to extreme reactions. Drivers will endure a freezing morning commute with the heater entirely turned off, or sit rigid behind the wheel, white-knuckling through traffic to conserve every last drop of power. But staring at every tiny fluctuation on the dashboard is exhausting. It also distracts from the specific ways the vehicle actually consumes energy in the real world. The battery's drain is governed by specific, predictable physical levers, most notably temperature and speed. The first major lever is simply temperature. Cold weather places a uniquely heavy burden on an EV battery, which can significantly cut into your driving range. A traditional combustion engine burns fuel and produces waste heat, warming the cabin for free. But an EV lacks ambient heat. It pulls energy directly from the battery to power a heating coil, reducing driving range. You can mitigate this drain through active thermal management. The most effective habit here is preconditioning. By heating the cabin while plugged into the wall, the climate control draws power directly from the electrical grid, bypassing the battery. This neutralizes the temperature penalty before you even back out of the driveway. You shift the energy burden of heating onto the grid, preserving the battery for propulsion. But once you are cruising on the highway, energy use is dominated by a second major lever, speed and aerodynamics. This graph plots speed against aerodynamic drag. Air resistance is not linear. Past 60 miles per hour, drag compounds rapidly. Comparing 65 to 80 miles per hour shows a massive increase in energy consumption. Abrupt acceleration and harsh, sudden braking introduce unpredictable spikes of energy waste right on top of that heavy baseline aerodynamic drag. Maintaining a slightly lower cruising speed and using perfectly smooth pedal control drastically reduces the workload on the battery. Small adjustments to highway speed take advantage of the physics of drag to produce significant, predictable efficiency gains. Once you understand these physical limits, the next step is applying them to your daily routine. True efficiency is cumulative. While speed and temperature are the primary levers, they work in tandem with things like route choice and charging schedules. This means energy loss is usually spread across a variety of ordinary, recurring habits. Private drivers do not need to adopt an unrealistic driving style or become obsessive hypermilers to see real results. Systematically removing just one or two repeatable sources of waste embedded in your normal week will improve your long-term range far more than any intense one-off burst of effort. The most effective tool for turning this physics knowledge into consistent action is a technique called anchoring. Anchoring means tying a specific EV efficiency habit directly to an existing daily routine, a specific time of day, or a familiar route. For example, you might decide that battery preconditioning is tied to your 7 a.m. weekday departure, or you might establish a speed cap that you always use on a specific stretch of your daily commute. These simple anchors remove the guesswork. Instead of reacting to the dashboard in panic, you are navigating traffic with practical, relaxed control over the vehicle. Predictable routines allow a driver to work with observed patterns. Using these physical levers turns a stressful trip into a managed one.